Hey folks, welcome back to Road Hard Restorations. I'm going to take a quick break here from working on this Cougar to show you a new parts car I got for the 73 Duster. Because a two-door Duster is way cooler than a four-door Valiant. So this is a 1973 Valiant. That's a 1973 Duster. So with both of these being 73s, everything's the same exact from the firewall forward. So the engine, the transmission, the K-frame, the disc brakes, all the wiring, everything, even the front bumper, even though it's got a little dent there, everything will just transfer straight over to this car. As you can see, I have no K-frame, no brakes, no suspension of any kind. And then we'll have a running and driving 73 Duster, which is way cooler than a bashed up four-door Valiant. Based on the master cylinder, this was a drum brake car, but that one's got disc brakes, so that's definitely an upgrade.
Speaking of upgrades, somebody put a fancy upper control arm on here, so that's neat.
So admittedly, it is going to be a minute before I get this done. I want to paint the 73 Duster, at least the engine bay, before I get everything transferred over. I'm not going to go with this beige color. I want to go with another high impact color, even though it's not original high impact color car. This is an original Sassy Grass 70 over here. I have the Vitamin C Orange 70 Duster out in the front. And then my race car is going to go with the Rally Green. So in the meantime, I want to get this thing maybe roadworthy. Maybe take it to duct tape drags in 2026. We'll see. It's got a cracked windshield. I don't want to put really any money into this car, but because it's just going to get parted out. So speaking of which, any of you four-door guys, I mean, this door is pretty wrecked, but if any of you four-door guys need doors or quarter panels or deck lid or what have you off of this car, hit me up. roadhardrestorations@gmail.com, and we can arrange maybe, you know, if you come down and get some sheet metal or whatever. So we'll figure that out. So apparently this car has been to the 24 duct tape drags, and you can see they're a fan of other YouTubers. So that's cool. This car is actually really solid. Virtually no rust. The floors are absolutely solid. Door's pretty bashed up. Fender's bashed pretty bad. And yeah, so the fender's toast. I mean, I suppose a guy could try to fix that, but this fender's looks mint. Doors are good shape, quarters. So again, if a guy needs four-door parts, hit me up. roadhardrestorations@gmail.com. Also, these 14-inch wheels, they're good enough for rollers, but it's not my style. If you guys know what kind of wheels these are, let me know. But it looks like they used to have a center cap on them. I don't know what these are. I don't see any name on them. So here's the interior. You can see we're missing the door cards, and the seat is torn up and missing all of the back stuff. Headliner, no dash pad, but it's got some gauges. It's got all the wiring, instrument cluster. So I did drive this thing on and off the trailer, but that was a few weeks ago. Let's put a battery in it and see if it'll fire up. I had the battery on the charger overnight. Positive on there, and the negative. Don't forget the battery hold down. Yeah, that'll hold. So this thing's got a little Edelbrock. I think it's a 500. A little Edelbrock Performer intake manifold. It's a good little street carb setup. All right, cold start, first fire.
All right, let's see.
Oh yeah, it's got an electric fuel pump.
Oh, that's neat.
Better put both feet in here just in case.
That steering wheel has a little...
All right, we are trying to double shoot. We are trying to troubleshoot why this thing won't turn over at all. I got my trusty assistant Dustin here help me out. So what do you think we need to do? We need to test the ignition switch to see if we're even getting power to the relay.
I'll turn the key.
Oh, you want to turn the key? Okay.
Door's not open.
No, the door's stuck. Yeah, it's an old junk car, right?
Yep.
Ah, there it goes.
There we go.
You can sit in there.
Okay.
So on these right here, this little wire comes from the ignition switch. So I plug the wire in here. Power probe. Go ahead. Okay. So that's telling me that we have a signal from the ignition switch. Okay, turn it all the way back towards you. The top towards you.
Got it.
Okay. So we know that that circuit is good. This right here is the ground wire. Showing what ground. So this wire here comes from the positive of the battery on this top post right here. Got power there. Got nothing there. Ground there as well. In theory, we should be able to just put power to this and get cranking, right? Let's put the power probe on here, give it the voltage, and we have nothing. So I'm thinking that this solenoid relay thingy is probably bad.
So let's go rummage through our junk box, see if we can find another one.
Found a new solenoid in the box of spare parts, so I'm just going to switch that out. Of course, you need 3 different size sockets to take this one part apart. Now, in theory, we should be able to test this with the old power probe here. Should be able to hear it clicking.
Well, it's clicking. You hear it over the dumb ducks over next door. You hear that?
Yep, I hear the clicking.
Okay, well maybe this guy is actually okay.
Maybe. On.
This one is too, so let's got it out. Let's switch it out anyway.
Yep.
So we switched out the solenoid. It's the same exact thing. I can apply power to this lead here. I can hear it clicking, but nobody's home. So further downstream, I'm thinking could be the starter itself. This is the hot lug from the battery. This is the hot lug that goes or will be hot once the solenoid is activated. It sends power to the starter motor. So if you theoretically, if you connect these two together, nothing. Not getting anything. So it's definitely something on the starter. And this thing is one of those mini starters off of a newer car. And can't really get to it from here with this stock manifold on there. Ironically, it's actually easier to get to those, the wiring on those with headers, because you can just reach through the tubes, at least on my other A-body Duster. So, the next step would be to lift up the car and crawl under there.
Lift it up. We need jack.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any success getting this thing to fire up. I think we have a bad starter. The jack is, I don't know, 100 yards or so from the garage to here through the dirt, and I don't feel like carrying it. We're going to run out of daylight here pretty soon. It does run good, I swear, once you get to do anything to turn over. So anyway, you'll see this car again on a future episode of Road Hard Restorations. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next one. You looking forward to getting this car up and running?
Yes.
All right.